Greetings and welcome to another edition of Five Play Friday Live. Super excited, as always, to be here. Pumped up. Let's look at plays. It's the number one way we get better as basketball officials. It's always exciting, and there's always so much there. You watch a play the first time, you see the name thing, this, that, the block charge play, etc. Then you look at the positioning of the officials, and there's so much depth and value. And we're going to look at plays today, as we always do, and I am really appreciative of everyone for joining the stream. Awesome. Michael Hogg is in the house. Good morning to you. Hope everybody has like a 4-day weekend or something like that going on. That would be awesome. Michael, you are welcome. Thanks for joining, and thanks for putting your voice in the game, right? A big part of this of these live streams is let's get a community. Let's get feedback. Let's get opinions. Let's get your voice in the game. Isaiah, happy Independence Day to you. Jason Hayes is in the house, super supporter. Jason Hayes. Had a great IBO camp this week. Awesome. It is camp season. It's a big part of what we're doing here at A Better Official with our live streams is ramping up, right? We're currently in camp season and ramping up to hopefully a normal basketball season in the year ahead. All right. Let's take a look at our weekly rundown and a look at our live schedule. Every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, Basketball Rules Expert, a rules-focused show where we look at play scenarios, break them down using National Federation of High School Basketball rules so that we can have a better understanding of the rules, and as I like to say, so we can take the rules with us onto the court. We have comprehension and understanding, and we can take them with us. Right? We don't have to go back to the locker room and look in the rules book to determine a scenario. In addition, every Friday, 5 Play Friday Live, we're going to look at plays. We are going to look at all aspects of the plays. Obviously, the rules are important. Whether the call was correct is important, but more importantly, the positioning of the officials, were the officials working the system, etc. We want to take everything we can from a play and avoid the negatives and embrace the positives. Take those positives, put them in your game, maybe recognize negatives that we see on the court, and we think maybe that's a negative I might carry with me onto the court as well. I want to look to improve on that area. In addition, Masterclass Monday. Every other Monday, more or less, we'll see. Masterclass Monday, where we focus on a particular topic using National Federation of High School Basketball rules. This coming Monday, July 5th, we will have a Masterclass Monday focusing on correctable errors. A phenomenally misunderstood, misapplied issue for basketball officials. The sage advice, avoid them at all costs and you won't have any trouble. But that doesn't help us when they occur, and as we know, they occur at all levels of officiating. NBA, NCAA, FIBO, National Federation of High School rules. When they occur, how do we adjudicate properly? That is what we will be covering in our week. We have a correctable error week next week, starting with Masterclass Monday. 5 Play Fridays will focus on plays, and Basketball Rules Expert on Wednesday will focus on play scenarios, covering correctable errors. All right. If you're new to the show, go ahead and put new. Jump in the chat. Put your voice in the game. Jump in the chat. Put new. Let me know what part of the country you're officiating in, and we can go from there. Glad to see you and really appreciate you joining the show and participating. If you have a comment, jump in the chat, right? You have an opinion on the play. You say you see something about these play scenarios that maybe haven't been addressed, or you have a question about, put your voice in the game. Join the conversation, and let's all get better together. Fantastic. Michael Hogg in the great state of Indiana. Michael, congrats to you. I hope that you get there someday, and next year will be my first year working college. Oh, we have a new hire in the house. That's tremendous. Tremendous. Isaiah High School. Next. First playoff games this season, or last season. Fantastic. Jason Hayes, high school official. Excellent high school official, if you watch the video. Everybody's in the house. Mike Connors, bringing the rules knowledge with him onto the court and into the chat. Fantastic. Great to see everybody. Randy Wilson in Chicago. Nice. Thanks for joining, Randy. Really appreciate it. I was just in Chicago. My son lives there, and we love it. We love the Chicago. Billy Mack, that small little corner of Connecticut is in the house. That is fantastic. Well, if you are new to the stream and new to the channel, my name is Greg Austin with betterofficial.com. We craft video to help basketball officials get better. And this live stream is part of that effort. Give me just a second. Wait a minute. Technical difficulties. We're back. If you're new to the show, take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit the notify bell so you don't miss out whenever we produce live streams or any new content. And also share the video with basketball officials who you know could find value as well. We want to have on these live streams, we want to develop a community so that we can all get better together. Mike Goodwin, Fairbanks, Alaska. I did not know that, Mike. Fantastic. Douglas Johnson in the house from Arkansas. Okay. All right. So, as you know, we have a bit of a show within a show. We have our, for viewers of the live stream, we're in there, we're chatting, etc., etc. But the show ultimately gets pared down, and a reduced size version is put on the channel as well for people who can't join the live stream or don't have the time to watch a longer program. So, with that said, let's initiate the show within the show. Hold on just a second. I need a do-over. Let's start again. Greetings and welcome back to 5 Play Friday, the show where we look at plays on the court, take from them what we can, and get better as basketball officials. Greetings again, everybody. My name is Greg Austin with betterofficial.com, where we craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. If you haven't already done so, now would be a great time to hit the like, subscribe, and the notify bell below so that you don't miss out on any of our new content. Before we start, always like to thank phenomenal channel supporters, Adam Fulmore, John Terzer, Darwin Sonata, Wezata Results, and super supporter Chris Hirano. Much appreciated and much love. If you want to support the show, you can always buy us a coffee at betterofficial.com/coffee. All right, that was hard. Kind of screwed it up. Oh, wait a minute. We've got the phenomenal Keeley, a field hockey official, like a superstar YouTube performer, does field hockey related referee content, and joining the stream is phenomenal to see. She's provided me some guidance working with our software here that helps us with the live stream. So great to see Keely on the call and Michael Hogg in the house as well. All right. Okay, you want to get started on the very first play scenario? That's why we're here. Let's look at plays.
Angling off to the right. He wants to get around Griggs. He's going to draw and cook it. Oh, he's going to be charged.
Block charge play, because the defensive player has to establish their position on the court prior to the player going airborne. The amount of time between when the player establishes that position and the player goes airborne in this instance is extremely small. That small amount of time is what makes this a close play. If the player did not establish that position prior to going airborne, then this would be a block, but they were successful in that. But a big part of this play is really about who is officiating what. So from the initial drive, our center official is responsible for the primary defender. The lead is in rotation. Gets there, completes the rotation prior to the player starting to drive. It's close, right? There's no reason to back out here. We have the position. But the number one thing we have to do in this instance is, as lead, transfer our eyes to what's next. We have to find that secondary defender, judge their legality, right? The official gets their head around, has the look on the play, rules the charge. It's close. No, rules a team control foul as the player passed the basketball, right? So we have our correct mechanic on the play. It is a team control foul.
Angling off to the right. He wants to get around Griggs. He's going to draw and cook it. Oh, he's going to be charged.
Keely, I know you are. I know you are. I did a complete rework of the show and made a lot of improvements, but you know the things. You know those things. All right. Let's take a look at a couple of other. So we have a call correct on this play. This is a team control foul by rule, not player control, because they passed the basketball. Let's look at our other officials as well. Right. First of all, the behavior of the trail when the call is made.
He's going to draw and cook it. Oh, he's going to be
that immediate detach, right? As this is something in the camp that I worked over the weekend. I worked a local camp, high school officials. And what's so important as officials is just to know what's going to happen next. In all instances, mechanically, administratively, etc. If we know that, our game has polish and we bring strength and confidence to the court. If we know what's going to happen next, right, what our next responsibility is, then we're in a stronger position. So our trail official, when the call is made, like makes a move.
Oh, he's going to be charged.
Right, but there's no reason to move. There's no reason to move. Stay put. We're observing players. We have a player on the floor. We have a player who's throwing their arms up in frustration. Maybe they wave off a calling official as the calling official goes to report. We need to have eyes on the players. We're in no rush here. Now, in some parts of the country, I believe the mechanic is used where the new lead here is going to become the lead who made the call is going to become new lead on the play, and our trail official would switch. In California, thankfully, we've gotten rid of that. And I really appreciate that. But our first move, almost always, as a non-calling official, is to freeze our vision. And then we're going to make a determination about what's going to happen next, right? The immediate detach, not a great thing. So let's also look at our new center official on the play and their action. right? So where did this defender come from? Let's ask ourselves this, right? Right. And at this point right here, the lead official is not aware of that secondary defender. Who needs to be aware of that secondary defender on this play? The trail new center has to pick up that defender. We got the call in the primary. As we know, as a general rule, leads go quick. Leads are not going to have a patient whistle on plays like this, right? It happens in front of them. The proximity is there. They are going to go quick. As outside officials, we need to recognize that. And if we do have a secondary whistle or we double on the play, we have to not show, right? Recognizing that the lead's going to go quick and have good habits there, right? So the center, if there was no call on this play by the lead, who's going to put a whistle on this play? The center has to put a whistle on this play if there's no call from the lead. That's their defender. But also notice that our center, while the ball is in flight, is moving for an open look on the catch. And that's a fantastic habit and great mechanics to have on the court. Okay? So a lot of good things about this crew. Just to review, trail is responsible for this on-ball matchup. You see it 1,000 times. Lead rotates here and picks up the on-ball matchup and officiates that play, and while it is still belongs to the center/new trail. We have to be disciplined on this play, get to where we need to be, refocus our eyes either on the let me put this on. Either on this secondary defender coming down the lane here, or the secondary defender coming on the lane here. We have to reposition our attention to the lane area and pick those defenders up. We talk about trust as a crew. Well, we need trust to work the system. Trail official, new trail, is responsible. If there's a push in the back here, get that. You are officiating that matchup. I will officiate what's happening next as lead. All right, Mike Connors has a block. Mike, what are you using to support that? Do you not have the defender in position before the player goes airborne? Yeah, our player who goes to the basket here is a rather substantial player, right? So we have a little bit of a big against small scenario, but the torso contact is there and it displaces the player. Mike Goodwin, Mike C. Lead is looking between the two opponents. His angle is better than the camera angle. Yeah, it is. It is, and the most important thing is the official gets the look on the play. Even if it's only an instant, right? He picks up the defender, has the look, and makes the call. Keely, now you know how I feel watching your videos. All right. So our first play, just an excellent example of crew mechanics, dynamics, and this is exactly what we want to do when we look at plays. Almost always, all right, there is some called validation, but almost always it's based on positioning and the habits of the officials on the play. That's where the value lies. That's where we can become better as basketball officials. We see mistakes made. We say, all right, how do I need to recognize that mistake? How am I going to improve my game by avoiding that, right? What are the good habits that I see on the screen? How can I mimic those habits? So our block charge play is a great, and we can disagree about the veracity of the call. Mike has a block. I have a team control foul. And we can talk about that and talk about judgment. But when we look at plays, what we're really looking at is what are the underlying elements that we can take from it. so that we can make ourselves better as basketball officials. Billy Mack's NFHS, no more team control punch. I know that is the mandate with, we're going with the player control signal. We'll see how that all plays out. That's all I'm going to say on that. But we do want to have a fist up, as Randy points out, and we want to have great mechanics on the spot, right? We also want to recognize on this play as lead, right? The leads mechanics seemed a bit speeded up, right? Sometimes as lead, we recognize that everything is going to be speeded up. We're going to have a quick whistle and quick signals, and there's nothing about the call on this play from the official that is not completely dynamic, strong. I know what I have. This is my call. Everybody in the gym knows that this official is confident in their call, right? There's no wishy-washy. All right, with that, we're going to wrap up that play and move on to our very next play. So, we're going to go back. I apologize. We have a closely guarded matchup. The trail official properly puts a closely guarded count on the play. The play goes away from the official. When plays go away from us, as an official, we have to recognize our perception of what's going on diminishes. We have to recognize that. If the play is coming to us, we have a lot more information. The play is going away from us, we are not the best officials, and we may have incomplete information. But we're officiating this closely guarded matchup. We appreciate the defender is working hard on this play. Legal, right? The play goes away. And now, obviously, our ball handler goes down. Is there a momentary loss of control? Is there an interrupted dribble? As Billy Mack points out, a closely guarded count must be terminated during an interrupted dribble. So that's the call here, right? Is this an interrupted dribble? We obviously know something has happened just by observing the play. Maybe our player is doing a curly kneel on their knees, dribbling the basketball, but there is some sort of loss of control on this play. That's pretty obvious. We want to have high certainty. We don't want to guess on calls. We're balancing the fact that this defender is working hard, etc. But in the end, I believe this is an interrupted dribble, and the count should have been terminated. The official could have worked to improve their angle on the play. Could have worked to improve their angle on the play. But let's also look at our center official. Now, we have a really packed gym. Sometimes that can affect our positioning on the court. Obviously, there's not a lot of room to move back here on this court. Packed gym. We love working games in packed gyms. But if we take a look at this is not a freeze frame. If we take a look at our center official, they never pick up the play, they never position adjust, and they're in a relatively poor position to begin with, right? We want to be free throw line extended on this play. But the key thing is the center official has his head down right? What can we definitely say about this ball handler at this point? Right here, right? Closely guarded, and the ball handler's on the floor. I call this ball handler is in distress. This ball handler is in distress. Either they're in distress in the backcourt when the count has been going for a while, or they're in distress, they're on the floor, they're holding the ball, or they're in distress in some other fashion. When that happens, we're working off ball on this play. What are we thinking? The head coach, somebody on the court, the head coach is going to call a timeout. We have to anticipate that, think it through, and be in position to make that call. If we have our head down in our primary looking like this, we are not fulfilling that responsibility we have on that. So, do that. Right, we're good, not closely. All right, we're going to start a count. If I'm the trail official here, I'm also right. Once I'm getting towards 4, my ears are up. Now it's obviously a packed gym, loud. We may not pick it up, but my ears are up. But I would expect one of my partners to have a look. And if they do, even if I've blown my whistle, right? If they have something before that, recognizing the timeout before that, oh man, come strong. Time out. Black. Okay, black. Right? Now, let's address the head coach. Right? So, if the head coach was requesting a timeout from their bench area? Now, we don't know what the bench configuration is, how much room they have on the sideline. Given what we see on the court here, we wouldn't expect they have much. Maybe they're, practically on the court while they're coaching here. But what behavior do we expect from them? To just stay hey, timeout. Right? They're naturally going to move towards us. Right? He doesn't hear me. I'm going to move towards him. I'm going to step onto the court. Jason Hayes, I agree with you. At a minimum, this is a warning, right? All of this is expected as an expected result on the play. The coach was requesting a timeout, and we were not hearing him, and we were not granting the timeout. They're going to escalate. They're going to come towards us, etc., etc. They may step onto the court. They're trying to be heard, right? This is all behavior that's expected. We've got a close game here. We don't know what the temperature is, but my expectation here is that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a warning. All right, coach, I'm sorry. We missed. If you were requesting the timeout, I apologize. I did not hear you. My partners did not hear you. I need you to stay in your coaching area and make the request there. I apologize if you were recalling it and I didn't hear you. That's all well and good. But I can't have you on the court. You need to stay in the coaching area. Maybe put a warning in the book, right? We can go that route. Or, we always have levels that we can escalate. Coach, help me out here. I need this behavior. Official warning for behavior by the bench. Head coach technical on the play. That's sort of our 3 levels that we can bring to any play situation like this. We need to be smart about how we work the ball game. This is a play where I'd say it would seem appropriate to me. So we have contact as well between the official and the coach, but the coach didn't contact the official. The coach came towards him, and then the official turned right into him. Okay, so I don't think. All right, let's take a look at everybody's feedback on this play. Oh, phenomenal. The chat is hopping today. I appreciate it. Is the center too low? Lofton? Absolutely. The center's too low and the center is too detached from the game. When a play comes into your primary, even if it belongs to the other official, right? The trail official has a count on this play. That's his matchup. But as center here, we want to accept the existence of this play because that's going to determine what happens next. Other players are going to come towards, possibly screening action, etc. So the behavior we would want as center here is to be fully aware, opening up to the play that's coming towards, seeing it in a peripheral, and seeing what we need to officiate next. But also, when we open up to that play, we can see that coach over there. Come on, ref, time out! Right? And we can save our crew in this situation. Yeah, center's in poor position. Curly Neal reference, again, I'm an old man. That's true. That's true. Randy, C starts too low and seems to be stuck in quicksand. That is absolutely correct. And all right, so we recognize that. Now we watch our game video and we see ourselves working and we see, oh my gosh, I have a little bit of that quicksand feet in cement as well on that play. And, I'm just static. Sometimes static when there's nothing in your primary, etc. But we don't want static in a situation where there's 10 players moving quickly in a confined area. There's a player in distress, possible timeout request, etc. We want to be animated. We want to be moving. Discuss that. At a minimum, it's a warning. I think, yeah. So, and again, we have our ladder. Coach, I appreciate that. All is well, but I need you to stay in the bench area. Or we go to the book, head coach warning. Partners, head coach has been warned, right? Or tactical foul. Those are our choices. We're going to work those depending on how we're working this ball game and what we want to do best to make the game better. Yeah, Alfred, so we do have the contact. We addressed that. The official turns into the head coach. I don't think the head coach, made contact. I don't think the head coach, put his hands in the chest of the official. But that's your judgment. If there was a clip a couple of years ago from a WNBA where the official was like, "Oh, you touched me, whack, and you're gone," right? When the touch didn't warrant that. So we need to be smart here. Oh man, I really, really appreciate everybody jumping in on the chat. This is fantastic. Really appreciate it. Okay, so a great learning play, something to learn from, take from it what you will, and let's move on to our very next play scenario. Okay, I fixed it so now you can hear me on this play. Let me move myself here. Get out the way, ref. All right, so on this play, we have a fantastic official, Paul Sullivan, and we are working this game with fantastic partners. This is a playoff game between two very good teams. call is player control. The official at the spot, got the signal, doing the Heisman, designates the spot, moves to the reporting area. Really strong dynamics as the calling official, right? But let's look at our initial, how we got here. Player picks up their dribble. We are the center official. We expect a rotation on the play, and we get that. Lead comes over. But how would we describe our look on the play? That's number one. As basketball officials, we have to be in pursuit of the open look. If we make the open look our number one priority, then everything else happens naturally. Now, sometimes we get fooled. We think the player's going right. We step left, and they were actually going left, and we end up getting straight line. But if we make our highest priority to find the open look on plays, then we will always be in good position. Even off ball, we're officiating players off ball. If we're actually officiating those players, we will move to open looks on plays if that's our number one objective. But for whatever reason, we are not there on this play. Right? We have a count, closely guarded, and we have the ball handler turning and elbow contact to the face of the defender. Ruled a player control foul, move to the reporting area, report. This official would become the new lead, so they bounce into the reporting area, they become the new lead. Okay? I want to think this through both as the calling official and as partners on the crew. You are on this crew. Let's say you are the center official. There's nothing going on in your primary, and you observe this play. What are you going to do next? Right? The way that I see this action is this defender they are not bringing the ball through and creating contact as part of a natural basketball move. This contact is a get off me move, right? And that changes things. If the player just had the ball on one side of them, they bring it through and go to the other, and there's contact created by the elbow when they bring it through, that's something different. In this instance, my feeling is this rises to the level of an intentional foul for excessive contact. Now, this is a point of emphasis, head contact with elbows, etc. But I'm not talking about any maybe local mandates that any elbow contact rises to this level. Just on its merits, I would say this is excessive contact. That player sought out the other player's face and contacted with their elbow. And that needs to be penalized. So, you are the center on this play. You see this play, and your partner has player control. What happens next? Okay, partner, it's your judgment, right? But do you think so there are other avenues we could take? Hey, partner, what do you think? Do we need to think about an upgrade on that play? Or, that's one level, right? I intercept them. We can always go up on plays. We can always upgrade, right? Partner has a player control. And also notice the dynamics of the call itself. The call is phenomenal, right? The mechanics are great. The certainty is great, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does that affect your willingness to go to that partner and say, I have something different on that play? I had a great look on that play. I think I have excessive contact. She sawed out her head and hit her with the elbow. We need to go intentional foul, 2 free throws for the offended player and the ball at the sideline, right? So that's one level. The other is, partner, what do you think about an upgrade on that play? Right? Just to slow the official down, maybe give them a little more time to process and really process the play and seek it on its merits. Christopher Janish, remember we can always upgrade a foul. We can never downgrade. We can always upgrade. Right? Fantastic. Player, intentional, or flagrant. Those are exactly our options, Billy. Those are our options on this play. We're not going to ignore this. Let's hold. Mike Connors, ball handler, definitely sized up the defender and directed the elbow. Okay, you could go flagrant here as well. Absolutely. If that's your judgment on this play, but if you are the non-calling official, you've got to put that on the table. You can't say, oh, well, it's my partner's call. Right? Over the weekend, I did a presentation at camp about game, crew, you. And this is a great instance this is a great instance where we're thinking about the game and the crew and you. As a non-calling official here, your partner has made an emphatic ruling, and there's dynamics to that. We don't want to interfere. That was their ruling, etc. If we put the game first, the game says that's an intentional foul. That is potentially going to lead to other activity in our game. But that action needs to be penalized in a different fashion. And if I'm putting the game first, ahead of my crew and my partners, but the game is more important, I am going to that official, partner. Here's what I have on that play, right? Or partner, I think we have to consider an upgrade on that play. And we could discuss it, right? If we need to, we could send the teams to their benches. We can get our lead official involved as well. We could talk it through. But you need to fight for the game. The game here says that's excessive contact, either intentional or flagrant. And you have to fight for that. Not say, well, it's my partner's call. Okay. Make yourself known that what you feel. Now, in the end, if they say no, it's just a player control foul, then that's all well and good. But we have to fight for the game, advocate for the game. And that would be our responsibility here as a non-calling official. Let's jump into the chat, see what's going on. People are lighting it up here. I really appreciate it. Keely, there's no cards in basketball. Our options are a player control foul, an intentional foul, which is 2 free throws and they get the ball back. Player control foul is no free throws, just a loss of the ball. And a flagrant foul would mean the player is disqualified and can no longer officiate. Right? So Jason brings up, what if that player goes down and they're bleeding and a towel and it's soaked and there's blood everywhere and what have you? Does that affect our opinion of this play? Also, as the calling official, we do have great mechanics, but we do turn away from the play. This player is stunned. She just got an elbow in the nose. But would we expect potentially any retaliatory action by a player in this situation? Would we expect a teammate who said, oh, we're not having that, to come at the player who fouled? These are options as well. These are factors as well. Wesley, you're right. The official does report quickly, right? So I would counsel that when you have a play that there's even a shadow of a doubt about whether or not there's a possible upgrade on the play. At the spot of the foul, I am Mr. Slow Motion, right? I'm Mr. Slow Motion. I'm kind of loitering around the spot of the foul, giving my partners a chance to process as well. And when I'm going to the table here, I may call out to the center official, hey, do you think we have to think about an upgrade on that play? Do you have something different on that play? Right? We're aware that something may be elevated. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Right? There's just no rush. Michael, I would not disqualify this player with a flagrant foul. Players are disqualified. Adults are ejected, but I know what you mean. I would not in this instance. But if you came to me as a non-calling official and said, and said, that player has got to go. Here's why. I saw the play. We have this, we have this, we have this. That player has got to go. Right? Then I'm listening. I'm all ears. We're working as a crew, and you can convince me on this play. On its merits, the elements are there, but the judgment of whether it's actually a flagrant act may be something we have to talk about. Mike pointing out the disqualification. Randy stepped towards the play. As center, I assume you mean ultimately the Chris, the official across the court. Angle on the play, I'd say, is the most important. But if we have information on this play, all right, so here's the other factor. Let's say I'm the calling official on the play. And you come to me and say, Greg, well, hold on. We have got to talk about an upgrade. Am I giving you the no, this is my call, baby. We're working as a crew. We have a commitment to get plays right. So you have something to say about this play? I am all ears. And let's talk about it. And if we need more information, we need to get together as a crew. We can send the teams to the benches. Yeah, the point of emphasis about head contact being a minimum intentional foul. I don't know if it was even in place when this game took place. Great. It would be a great play to come together. The world would be a better place, Keeley, if you were on the court. Third team, baby. Communication is the key as well. So as calling official, allowing potential communication to come. As a non-calling official, slowing the calling official down. That's our first step. Slow down. Give them a little more time to process. Always, the calling official has the most going on. They're processing the most. They have numbers in their head. They have the replay of the play going on in their head, etc. If there's any reason, let's slow them down and help them out. I was describing over the weekend. I'm your partner. I say, hey partner, we're in the bonus down here. Next foul. I'm trail on the very next play. I'll call a foul, and I will point to the sideline. Right? Even though I told you the next foul is bonus, it's because there's more processing going on in the calling official's brain, and we have to work as a crew. Rick Watson in the house. We must absolutely take into consideration whether our partner sees the play. If you're a non-calling official here and you did not see this play, then you have nothing to offer, right? You may be aware at the last minute that there was head contact by the reaction of the player. Maybe all you saw was the very after the contact, but we could still, right, thinking. Let's just slow down our calling official here just a minute. Hey, Paul, great call. Do we need to think about anything on this play? Right, just give them a little more processing time. I'm not in love with our leads position on this play. Right, we have potential post action. What I would want, and we have some off ball action as well here. What I would want is the lead to be wider. If they were wider, they'd be in a better position to take in more information, and they may have a look on this play. That's all I'll say about that. Really appreciate everybody jumping in on the chat and putting your voice in the game. Fantastic. Let's move on to our very next play scenario. All right. Again, I fixed the sound. I was anticipating. Hey, so what we have on this play, first of all, let's disregard the possible travel. That's not the interesting part of the play. Player may have traveled. The official did not rule a travel on this play, on the initial catch and step. Okay? But what we do have is we do have a foul. Learning points on this play are what kind of foul is it? And the switching that occurs in this two-person game using National Federation of High School Mechanics, which we use here in California. Okay. All right. Player loses control of the basketball here, right? They feel that, oh, I can't touch it. Could they touch it? Could this player, once they are in this position who accidentally loses control of the basketball, could they catch the ball legally? Yes. Yes, they could. Right? So what kind of foul is this? I agree with you, Michael, but we are disregarding. There was no call on this play. We are disregarding that. Jonathan Lamatina. Take our time on this backcourt. Did team control change? Are we in the bonus? So let's go under the assumption that we're in the bonus. Well, let's go into two scenarios. We're not in the bonus. We are in the bonus. And this play occurs in our game. In the end, this is a team control foul by rule, even though because there is no loss of team control. Right? In order for team control to end, masters of status, in order for team control to end, we must have a try for goal, the ball becoming dead, or the other team gaining control. The team gains control by a player holding or dribbling the basketball, and that does not occur on this play. Hey, ref, get out of the way. Okay, so a couple things. Where does the foul occur, and how does that affect? I love it. There's so many things in a play. Where does the foul occur? Where is the resulting throw-in? Who handles the resulting throw-in? Okay, I agree with you, Mike. So a player is dribbling the basketball. The rule about dribbling is a player in control of the basketball pushes the ball to the floor or bats the ball to the floor. When this player reached out and tried to control the basketball, they did not have control of the basketball. Okay? Something we need to remember as officials, when we're near the division line, two-person or three-person, when we're near the division line, designate the spot and be very clear. Partner, backcourt, partner, front court throwing. Okay? If we switch all fouls, let me just go through this for National Federation of High School Basketball rules or mechanics. Who's going to handle the throw-in on the centers, on the calling official? The throw-in is on their side of the court, in the front court. They handle the resulting throw-in, right? If we think about the scenario here, you see this all the time. There's a backcourt ruling, or let's say there's a backcourt ruling, and the officials, the old lead bumps, and both officials are moving at angles on the court, and both of them are looking at the floor. Right? I saw this a lot over the weekend working with new officials. We lose our ability to keep eyes on players. If the calling official administers this throw-in and the other official makes the long run, which there's lots of time to do here, then we're able to keep eyes on players. And that would be correct using National Federation of High School Mechanics. And I understand that in different parts of the world, when in Rome, do as you do locally, etc. See, Mike, I don't think we have a bump and run here. I think by rule, the calling official, because they designated it in the front court, that would be their throw-in, and we would not bump and run. And I'll go to bat for that. Not the biggest part of this play. Let's just recognize that. Okay, so we talked about two scenarios. One is a bonus situation, and one is a non-bonus situation. In a non-bonus situation, always, always, always identify these fouls as team control fouls. We need reps. This is potentially uncertain what this is. Is this a foul? Is this a team control foul or not? Okay, so we have a chance here to get practice and report. We got the foul. It is a team control foul, right? If you're the non-calling official here, hey partner, that's a team control foul, right? Why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have any effect on whether we shoot free throws or not because we're not in the bonus. But we need reps identifying these plays, identifying them when it doesn't have an impact on the game, so that later, when we're in the bonus and this same play occurs, every single player and the game starts moving down to the other end of the court. Down to the other end of the court. Everybody is anticipating bonus free throws. And sometimes we're a lone voice in the woods, and we got to say, no. Team control foul, sideline throwing, right? And the reason we can be good at that is because we've become practiced at identifying team control fouls throughout the game. That would be my counsel on this type of play. Let's take a look what we got going on in this crazy. Yeah, the displacement, the displacement was pretty bad, I thought, Jason, on that play. But I could see that. I mean, I could see it. Mike Connors, no foul, no free throws on team control. Absolutely. But that would be great language, Michael, to use on the bump before they got possession, right? That may be a part of my reporting, as a way to communicate. We have a push, black, let's say it's 25. I don't know what number we got. Team control, push occurred before change of possession, right? I may say that to the coach in some fashion, try to communicate that. We're good on that. Isaiah, fantastic. That's really what it's all about. And take to heart what I say about these plays are occurring in your game. These team control fouls are occurring in your game. All right, and we just need to identify them and say, "Ooh, I found one." It's like searching for Easter eggs. I found one. Right? I found that in my game. Hey, partner, that's a team control foul. Boom. Right? Just so that we can identify them, get reps doing that. Tremendous. We're getting there. This group is getting there. Christopher Janish, right, saying gets pushback when we don't award free throws in this situation. I know that in NCAA men, this was an issue, a high priority issue a couple of seasons ago. That was my perception. If we administer correctly by rule, now we can also have, it's a question of certainty. Are we certain on this play, right? If we are, then it's a team control foul. If we're not so certain, then potentially bonus free throws if that was the situation. All right, great work, guys. Let's move on to another play. Audio's good. All right, I'm going to move myself again. Get out the way, ref. Get out the way. Okay, what do we have on this play? This is a rulesy play, but also let's note the demeanor of the crew. I'm going to go here as well. I think there's some benefit. And there's an Easter egg, as we talked about in this video, right? A subtle detail that will show us whether we are the masters of our game, whether we have complete awareness in situations like this. Now, let's look at the score first of all. 15-point lead, 2 minutes to go, fourth period of a tournament game, it sounds like, right? So, we can look at the positioning of the center on this throw-in, but we have something funky. We have a throw-in that goes in the basket. I'm going to go here. As we know, recently in an NBA game, we had a last-second out-of-bounds throw to the basket. Player contacts the ball within the cylinder, etc. What if the ball had gone in? These kind of questions come up. National Federation of High School rules, this is a violation. It's important to identify for what kind of violation it is, as that's going to determine what happens next, right? We have a ball that is thrown into a basket during a throw-in. What if the ball was thrown into the other basket during a throw-in? Anything different, right? It is illegal by rule for a throw-in to go in the basket. That's a throw-in violation. Throw-in violations, where do we resume? We resume at the spot of the original throw-in. Michael, that should be a 10-point play. Well, there was skill involved. But let's go back and look at the demeanor of the crew when this happens. Now, would you say this is a common occurrence? No. All right, so momentarily we are stunned as a crew. Okay, so we're slowing down. Trail official goes to the center official. Potentially, we're going to discuss the play, make sure we got it right. No matter what your level of experience, you're a first-year official, you are a 10-year official. If we have great habits in this situation, and if you're a first-year official and your crew wants to do something different other than a throw-in violation on this play, right, and you know the rule, you have got to fight, again, advocate for the game. The game says this is a throw-in violation. Our crew's momentarily stunned, right? Put your voice in the game. Throw-in violation. Back at the original spot. Okay? It can help us all look better as a crew. Again, low-stress environment here, right? Throw-in violation by rule. Les, call correct. Oh, wait a minute. Excellent. Now, anybody found the Easter egg on this play? Little something, small detail. Anybody catch it? Let's watch the clock. On the stanchion. Right? So our clock runs. We actually don't know what the time was going into the throw-in, I don't believe. So it may have run a few seconds, right? Those are the kind of details that if we know the time before the throw-in occurs, right? We always check partners, table, clock before the ball is made live. If we have that habit built in our game, we catch this. Again, this is a 15-point game with a couple of minutes remaining. We know who's going to win this game, but that gives us a chance for reps, right? I identified a clock situation in a low-stress environment. I fix it, so I get the practice of doing that so that when it really matters, super competitive game, lots on the line, etc., we are experienced and golden. So if we catch that clock situation, we get bonus points. Umar's in the house. Hello. All right. I'm going to keep things moving here. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk on that one. How about one more play and we'll get out of here? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, there's something funny happened play, right? As the lead, you administer the throw in. Player, I wasn't expecting this play, right? It happens in front of you. You need a moment to process. If you did actually rule something to be illegal, we could come late. But it's a simple play, just a reminder about status. We need to know and be masters of status on this play. The throw-in has begun. The ball has been placed at the disposal of the thrower. The thrower releases the throw-in pass. They are no longer responsible for being off the court. It would be illegal for this player to step on the court and then release the throw-in pass, but they are legal. Their inbound status is established by a player having contact with the court and not being in contact with out of bounds. That status is legal, and it's a legal play. Simple play, one that can surprise us. All of a sudden, we were just not ready for it. We maybe need a little processing time, but notice in the crew here as well is there's no reactive energy. There's no like, oh, something happened, we probably need, no. Just process and evaluate. Process and evaluate, and all is well. Jason Hayes. Last night, basket made, team pressing, kicks the ball on the throw-in. It does the thrower still have end-line status on that one? Yes. Yes. So a kickball violation does not take away the ability for the throwing team to move along the end line. Rick, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Excellent. Okay, now, here we are. I'm getting better at this, but I want to give me just a second to end the show within the show, and then we'll be back and finish up and talk about any question and answer scenarios going forward. Hey, thanks for joining us on 5 Play Friday today. Much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, now would be a great time. Hit like, subscribe, notify, and share the video with other basketball officials who could find value as well. Have to give a shout out to our tremendous show supporters. Douglas Johnson, he may be on the call. Douglas Johnson, Dean Schrauben, Brett Temple, Shuang Lee, Mark Asmussen. Much appreciated and much love. You want to buy us a coffee? You can always head to abetterofficial.com/coffee. All right, I have additional video content for you here. Make your choice, choose wisely, and we'll see you in the very next video. Take care. All right.